we got a Canadian. That's usually a good sign. Is this the most common opening? Seriously. Is this the most common opening? I see it all the time. I'm like, dude, what's going on here? Just handing me the center. Like, that's real nice. I don't know. People love playing this opening. Let's go here. A3 will hand us over the bishop pair in a sec, it looks like. Maybe D5 even wins something. I mean, at F3 is gaining time. I'm just thinking, buddy, how do you really feel? What's really going on here? I sense queen g6, bishop d3, queen takes g2, you know? Oh no. Is he really in trouble this early? He should be. He deserves to be in trouble this early. Like, dude, you can't play that opening you're playing and, you know, expect to get away with it. You really can't. Well, this is how the Scandi goes against c4. Not very well. Not very well. Jack. Do we take? Maybe bishop c4. I know it's tempting to take, but bishop g4, we want to go f3. I want to bring a rook here. Maybe bishop f6 or something. Maybe bishop f6 right now. Is this mate in 2? That is mate in 2. It's good to threaten mate in 2. It's very unlikely it will happen. Another nice mate in 2 is bishop here. And that's more likely to succeed. So here, knight takes here is covered. But if we go bishop here, we're threatening mate. Always a good thing. Okay, we're not quite mating, but gosh darn it, it's close. I mean, this is brutal. This is brutal for the guy. No. I didn't realize we were starting off with KOs like this. Main line, we're gonna go for G3, bishop G2. So we haven't seen any of this so far, which I'm kind of interested now to see the setup. He goes here, which is, I'm gonna play E3 and try to play maybe D4 here. But there are a lot of setups where he goes G6, bishop G7. I think my opponent's being a little bit greedy here. He's trying to get this, like some huge center. It doesn't look very realistic, if I'm honest. So, D4 looks great here. You know, anytime you can get your pawn in the center and hit a piece, I mean, how are you gonna say no to that? I think queen e2 is probably good here. But if we want to keep pieces on the board, then knight e2 is the way to go. And I like this more. We're gonna castle. I like our position here. My opponent doesn't want to do this. That's the thing. That doesn't really help black, right? My knight just replaces it. And remember, whenever you're playing bishop takes c3, it's important to realize, as white, it's more obvious because we're taking back. We feel good about that. As black, a lot of times people take and they're like, oh yeah, I'm trading bishop for knight. It's like, well, no. You're trading bishop for knight. And you have to realize that. You're not trading that piece for that piece. You're trading this piece for this piece. And the quality of the bishop is think a lot higher than the knight. But he just kind of takes it, and I mean, I'm very happy to see that. I'm very happy to see that. We'll take, and I believe we're gonna win something here. With queen b3 happening, hitting b7, d5, and pinning, plus bishop g5 available, it's tough to imagine my opponent not blundering at the very least a pawn. Perhaps more. Perhaps more. Because yeah, pawn takes, bishop here, queen there. It's like, I just don't see how he can possibly keep it all together. At what rating range do people stop voluntarily trading bishops for knights? I don't know, maybe 1700? Somewhere between 17 and 1800 it happens. Queen b3 next. This. I think we start with this one. There's definitely going to be some way to win material here. No doubt about it. Well, here's the thing. If I take this, and my opponent takes with the rook, then queen b7 really traps the rook, right? So he's going to have to respond with queen... He's going to have to respond with queen c6 to that. And queen c6 seems to drop things. Seems to drop a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go here. After queen c6, we're gonna go knight takes d5. Queen takes queen. Then we have a nice move, knight takes f6, check, followed by takes, and we still win the other rook. So actually, losing our queen here results in him losing every single major piece, which is a little funny. Because his rook is trapped at the end as well. It's not just an exchange. Now it's a matter of conversion. Take this guy. And maybe we can run the d-pawn now. I mean, I guess this is technically better. I was gonna go here and then d7, but he could take my pawn, so let's ensure we get a queen. Push him, baby, as Yasser would say. But this game has been a lot of problems for black. Like usually when people go e5, f5, they kind of go g6, d6, keep it closed, castle, you know, maybe try kingside attack. What my opponent did was e5, f5, and then, you know, d5, he gave away his bishop. He didn't keep the position closed, so he was behind in development, you know, tactics everywhere, gave up the bishop pair. All that worked against him. Usually if you're gonna play the way my opponent did, you wanna keep it more closed and like, you know, more like a King's Indian. More closed and kingside attack focused. Instead, he opened things up. It's like, you can't have everything. You can't move a bunch of pawns, give away your bishop pair, open the center, and still expect to do well. That's not a recipe. He's really thinking on this one, guys. He's giving me time to call out my subs, you know? Zach Kenny Gardner, thanks for the 2 months. Luau, thanks for the 7 months with Prime. You know, he understands here. Yeah, business has got to function. GG. He actually resigned, so he really was thinking about it. He really was thinking. All right, gonna go with C4 here. E6. We're gonna get our Fianchetto set up, castled, pretty standard stuff. Okay, this move's always interesting because, I mean, of course, we're all tempted, right? It's like I want to move my knight just to make this threat, but he has many ways, natural ways to stop it. So I don't think I gain anything. I don't think I gain anything from that. Well, look, if my opponent takes none of the center and it's move 5, you're not gonna be surprised by my move. You know, D4, it's time. E4, here we go. No surprise what I'm up to. Maybe Queen D2 as well. Go here, you know, if the C file opens, and especially if I need to play B3 on this diagonal, I want to be a little careful there. Let's go B3. This move, I mean, kind of forcing my hand here, you know, to take. If I take, I feel like this knight ends up on D4. Even if I get a knight on D5, I'm not a fan of it. I'm gonna go D5 here. There's no knight showing up there. If he goes F5, hopefully most of us are familiar with the move knight G5 as an immediate reaction. Knight here, let's control that square. Okay, because B5 is an idea, I think I'll make the move A4. And again, I think both sides are looking at F4 and F5, right? This is what we need. We need F4. So let's make it happen. Knight E1, knight D3, and F4. For anyone who's played against the King's Indian, knight E1 and D3 is, I would say, a decently standard option. F4 is kind of a move. I can take here and get that square. I do give him the D4 square, which, yeah, I'm not thrilled about. But in general, we have to take this. It's a must do. So even though our D4 square and our bishop are gonna come under fire, I don't think I can allow F4. That move is relatively odd. So G4, I get it, you want to take. But knight here or something. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so strangely enough, it doesn't look good here, but I think I can take. It doesn't look good because he's hitting this, he's coming there. But if I take, he can't take that way. If he takes with the rook, I think he walks into G4. So I was actually pretty excited to see knight F5 there. Okay, again, I think I'm winning material here. So first of all, I'll start with the, I was gonna say start with the easy material, but h4 is another way to do it. So I was either gonna do this and then h4. Queen has to take, and then I take the knight, right? But I can see that being a little dicey. So the other way to do it is start with h4, which looks pretty convincing. Do have to be a little careful, but yeah, I'm looking at h4, right? The rook has nowhere to go. Knight f4 only move, as far as I can see. And then, honestly, I could even just take that. Takes here is an option, but also not necessary. Yeah, I think h4, guys. It's a funny looking move, but I think it works. Rook is fully trapped. Bishop takes g5 as a threat, hitting the queen. And the knight's attacked, so... tricky. I'll take the rook. It's the more important one to capture. And now I desperately want to trade. I think I might go king g2. The thing is, queen there, there's e4 to deal with. And if I take, I mean, that's great, but I'm a little scared of the pieces coming in. e4, bishop e5. So I like this because it has a threat of that. And there's no queen g4. There's no queen g5. Knight f4 I can take. So I think I like this. Yeah, I don't have a good way to block that, actually. I think I might have to go here. Strangely enough. Still after rook takes f5, like, there's no checks. Like, I'm up a rook, there's no checks. We're still in the struggle here. You know, we gotta, like, I feel like I gotta work so hard here just to untangle my guys. Got an extra rook. It just doesn't feel that special. Not yet. Not yet. I guess that's a little bit nicer. We get to go queen f3 on pawn takes, right? Swing this rook over. And if we get checked, I think we can go in either direction. Perhaps actually h1 is safer. And that is I would say it's a good sign. Yeah, that's a good sign in general. Move my body back and forth. Rook e1, rook e6, and knight f2. This king is kind of stuck to that pawn at the moment. Knight e4. Yeah, knight e4 looks pretty decent. He takes. I don't think taking is the right one. I know it's tempting, but now it will be a little bit easy for me. So I can actually leave my rook there, right? And literally go all the way around. Now we've got it. Don't fail me now. Yes, we got the resignation out of him. It's always tough to get a stubborn lad not, you know, to resign, but I can usually make them. They see I'm not right in the head, and they make the smart choice. They make the smart choice. We got a 1630. We're gonna go with c4. We don't have a 1630. We're gonna go for another game here. All right. Okay, main line, g3. Bishop g2. We know what we're doing. Hang on one sec. What are you up to there, bud? That's very, very strange, isn't it? Why are you getting your queen out all early? Why are you getting all frisky on me, bruh? Okay. Interesting. I'm trying to think how we can exploit this. Because something doesn't look right, you know? Something does not look right. He really shouldn't be playing this way. So, I feel like we need to... open things up. That's what I feel like. I'm even looking at b4, b5 as an idea. d4, of course, comes to mind. The only consideration with d4 is the move e4. I mean, it's still good. Something to consider. I think I'm just gonna try to open things as much as possible. e4, knight d2, f5, f3. You know, why the heck not? Why the heck not? Takes, and we're pretty happy to take back. It's not strictly fire, I know. Okay, h5, h4, there might be bishop takes. Can't really tell if that fully works. The h5, h4. I mean, queen trade is always a nice answer to somebody launching an attack. Yeah, I'm looking at queen d3, and I'm looking at h4 because takes, bishop h3, bishop g5, only move, takes, f6. And it's like, how do we feel about that? I'll choose the simple option, which is, hey, you know, I've got a king castle, multiple pieces developed, and I'm gonna offer a queen trade. If you're gonna deny it like this, well, then I think it's just gonna be, I think you can't survive this position, put it that way. I do not think you can survive this. Important to remember that, you know, the queen and rook down the h file, because we're playing the English and we have a bishop here, there's never going to be checkmate. Like, it just won't happen. And this move, I think, pretty much solidifies the fact that there won't be mate, because now we play h3. I thought he was at least going to try queen h7 maybe, but Now I think he's cooked, because there's not going to be a single threat now. And guess what? You got the rest of the position to reckon with now, bud. Something tells me you're not going to enjoy it. Looking at this pawn, nice simple threat. Bring the knight in, and we can actually take with either piece here. Pawn takes, queen e8. I mean, I think the position lends itself to this. Okay. Nice and simple. Bishop f8. No, not even bishop f8. Wow. So I'm gonna go here to cover. Actually, it doesn't even cover h5. But maybe it still does the trick. I want to go g5 and then g6. But then I was thinking he takes f5, so it's not particularly brilliant. So I might change my plan and just go like this. Just win the pawn, boring and slow. Another nice thing is if he attacks my, if I could draw that arrow. If he attacks my rook, he's not actually threatening to take it. Like, literally, you know, I can just attack the knight and sort of prove to him that he can't take it. Although he did anyway, which is nice. Very nice. Don't know why he was so excited to trade queens. Takes f4, and we'll take this with bishop d5 check. I think we're doing well. Now the thing is, oh, okay. Oops. Oops. The knight is dominated, by the way, in that position. Knight has nowhere to move. He's going to lose his bishop. It's essentially like resignation. I mean, there's not much to say. This wasn't too much of an opening, guys. They brought their queen out really early. I think this was the right decision. Just offer a queen trade, really simple. You don't have to get super scared of this stuff, but I just think it's such a risk-free way to play. Offer a queen trade. You know they don't want one. He's only developed his queen. Of course he doesn't want to trade it. And if he denies it, e4, like, suddenly he doesn't have a threat on the board. He's just getting killed here. Okay, c4, c6. We haven't seen this particular move too much. d5. I think I will go b3. Bishop g4. Okay, I will go here, even though it kind of walks into this. I'm going to get my two bishops there and have a pretty comfortable position. Let's play bishop b2. Stop e5 at least immediately. Castle, d3, and knight d2. But okay, he clearly wants e5 straight away. How do we feel about that? I think we're going to allow it. Play d3. Oh wow, takes. Okay, he could have played e5 last turn without giving up the bishop, so I think the fact that we got him to give me the light squared bishop is a little mini win. definitely want to open up the C file. Queen C2. I almost want to look at B4. But okay, we'll keep it simple. We will keep it simple. Rook C1. Definitely have to do this. You know, bishop D6, knight B5, for example. I'll go D4 because, look, I want to open things up. His king is still in the middle. It feels really wrong. Bishop D6, really? No, something has got to give here. Something's got to give. D5, C5. I know what my opponent's doing is definitely not right. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm liking D5 the more I look at it. Marsky 420, what do you mean? I don't think you have, maybe you need to refresh or something. Might not be updated for you. I'm looking at B4. Knight E4 is another move. I mean, we have a nice permanent edge here. You know, we're always gonna be good. I am kind of interested in B4. Looks like a fun move. But maybe we'll keep it more controlled. Whoa! What on earth is happening? What was that? Okay, I have to play B4 and take. That was so ballsy. Can you believe he castled this way? I thought for sure he's castling the other way. I mean, right into that as well. I mean, you gotta do this. He's gonna go here now. Oof. Okay, rook C8. He's fighting. He's fighting. Definitely is. How do we add some pressure here? Queen C2. I mean, this guy is so confident. I can't believe he's doing this and might even be getting away with it. Jeez, okay. You know? Okay. It has to be B6. Right? There's no there's no way around it. One tricky idea I have is bishop G2 and bishop here. He's still not doing it. It's remarkable. Bishop here, queen takes. I don't think that's playable. There's so much that looks wrong here. I just can't get around this. Just how? Okay, I've got my protected pass pawn. I've got my 2 bishops. They're both pinning a knight. I have to be very close to, you know, all my pieces sort of being maximized here. Right? It almost doesn't get better than this. Trying to think, like, what capture do I have that actually does something? I could definitely take here. But that doesn't seem... I mean, it's good, but it's not anything special. Expecting him to take this with check, of course. I guess that's hanging. My goodness. You can't play all of that. Here, knight there. I guess we take here. Kind of ridiculous, but I think that's the move. How do you play that whole game so defensively sound and then blunder your full queen? Poor guy. Poor guy. Yeah, I mean, I made literally no errors. And then bungled it all. This is just good bullet technique, you know? Now I'm able to pre-move everything. So no matter what move he plays, this will definitely be a forced win. Definitely. He could do anything. The pawn could be anywhere. But this will absolutely win the game. That's right, I'm getting a vision. Yes, this will definitely win the game. It's important to identify ways to cut your opponent's king, have your pieces defended, so you can get stuff like this. Not even gonna have enough time to do it. Yeah, his connection that game was not too great, but his play that game was definitely great. First of all, he had to have the, you know, the gusto to castle long, but he did, and he kind of made it work, right? Shout out to him. Thought he played a great game. He lost control of it at the end, and when it rains, it pours in terms of blunders, that's for sure. Bungalow Bill, like that name. We're gonna go with c4. Bishop g2, and again, we've seen this, but I think our opponent here, who's probably been 1700 before, is gonna go for something a little more standard, which is g6, bishop g7. That, you know, that makes some sense. That makes some sense here. I'll go for a really classic English setup. I'm kind of handing my opponent the reins here for a kingside attack. We want to, you know, take, use the d5 square, knight d2, for example. Okay, we'll go back. Thinking about this, I would say that's a bit of a weird move to me. Bring my knight in. Like bishop d8 can be played, but I don't know. Bishop d8 looks a little odd. Play e3. Again, we do want to shove the b pawn up the board. I'm really getting the feeling that my opponent wants f4. Okay, we'll stick to it. English plans, light squares. You know, if f4 happens, there's some light squares that are going to be weak as a result. Let's kick the knight. Knight e7. At least I pick up that b pawn here. That move right there. Holy smokes. Feels like it's asking for it. Queen here. Is he going b6? Knight a5 is a weird one. Knight a5 is a weird one. I like my light squares here, but that's kind of it. I don't know if I have anything to crow about more than that. I'm probably gonna hit it just because he might play c6, honestly. I'm not sure if he wants to play b6, but we'll do this just to solidify. The light squares are mine. The light squares are mine. Yeah, I thought he might go c6. That's why I was like taking my time there, because takes. There's still some pressure on this guy. Knight b4. Can't tell if knight b4 is actually a good square for that piece. Like, I'm feeling like knight c3 might be better. Knight here, bishop d7. You know, I'm not too happy there. His knight's really strange on a5, but somehow the bishop on d8 is like, you know, just air traffic control. Just covering both sides of the board. d4 I also like as a move, although I'm quite sure he'll play e4. But these are those very classic struggles. The English struggles. White is, you know, fighting for these squares. Black's fighting against them. Black is also interested in the kingside attack, but at what cost? You give up the e4 square badly by doing that. I think we got to get rid of this, honestly. My knight on d2 was not so special. I think we're going to take with a rook. Bring the other one over or something. This pawn is pressured, but you know, he's got answers, put it that way. He's got answers for the moment. Here, knight a4. I feel like we're just in time or not in time. It's gonna be close. Maybe queen a3 is better to go back to b2. I liked queen a6 because knight a4 was very good. Queen a3, knight a4. Yeah, it's not as strong, but I was a little concerned about stuff on this side. Takes. Queen f7. Okay, rook b8. Probably not a good move, and I'm definitely happy to see it. Yeah, can't be that good here. Open up the rook a little bit. Maybe d4. I want to play d4. For some reason, this move doesn't bother me that much, but I feel like it should. It's quite strong. Go back to h1. f1, bishop h3. Not really in the mood to calculate that one out. I figured he had to react to this threat. Like, even though this looks funny, I think it's not so clear. Yeah, somehow I think it's not so clear. Like, it's like h3. H3 is important. It's gonna free me. Okay, there's some time on the clock here. Wow. Rook h7. What was that? Well, unexpected. Let's remove this one. Dude, this guy did it twice. What the hell, man? Rook h7. This guy's got no regard for the way pieces move. What just happened? I won on time? We shouldn't be winning that on time. Can we have like 6 seconds or something? I tell you, Bungalow Bill really got away with one. Like Rook h7 like 50 times here. Like, dude, you can't move to that square. You can't move there. But he kept doing it. I love this game because I thought it was a great indication of the, the battle for the central squares. This isn't my favorite way to play against this setup. I much prefer taking an initial plunge with like d4 into the middle to lay claim to some space, but the pure English setup is definitely like d3. But I like d4 a little more. So in the future, I'll probably be playing d4, but this is like, it's pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff here. My opponent played the whole setup well. Bishop on d8 and everything. Like, it actually made a good impression. Like, pieces looked like they made sense. Bishop b6, and black already has like a very nice edge here. That move was the bad move. And then Bungalow Bill, played well, but white is better here because this isn't permanent. I always have h3 and I have an a pawn. So unfortunately, white actually has a pretty significant edge here because that's kind of the end of the threats, essentially. Let's keep pushing. c4. Okay, stick with this. I usually go knight here when I see this, just because d5 I'm kind of trying to play b3. So my reaction to c6 is probably going to be knight f3, so that this I can meet with that, because there's been some positions where they've taken and played b5 and kept the pawn, and then it just doesn't really look like the English anymore. So I'll try to do this. This is a really common setup, by the way, that we're in right now. Except that bishop is usually out there. Okay, knight e4. So bishop here. I'm wondering if I can play knight e5. Not sure if that's any good. It's interesting he went back. I thought the whole point was to play bishop f6. Okay. I like my position. We're happy here. Takes, knight d4, threatening knight c6. He has to go here. We'll be able to win the light square bishop there. Is that valuable? We do have to deal with rook c2 at the end. Yeah, don't love that. Don't love that. Okay, we'll threaten b4. Gain some space here. The move e4 probably wants to happen next. Yeah, okay. Almost thinking rook e1 and e4. Sorry, e3 rather. But I guess e4 is an option as well. Okay. Open up this bishop, free all my pieces, hopefully. Let's go e4. Just like I said. Knight h4, bishop back to c1. Now he can go f5, but that's the move I want to see. Now I've got a great e4 square. You really should play h6 because I feel like if my knights get a hold of the g5 square, I'll be very happy. So how do we want to do this? Everything can go to g5 right now. Just about picking the right thing. Here, queen e7. Do we really have any Are we really doing anything there? I mean, I'm all excited to put a piece there, but for what? For what? Oh, it's this song. I mean, there's not much I can do here. I want to go here, but like, he just defends e6 and then kicks me out next turn. Right? It's like, what's the big idea there? That I'm actually happy to see that. That looks like a welcomed move. Ooh, that's extremely welcome. I was thinking queen takes knight to g5 to e4. Probably take. I guess the other way to play is knight takes e5 here. That's the other way. So knight e5, bishop takes g2. Knight, like, I don't know, c6. That should be good, right? Although, he moves his queen and then saves the rook. So I'm not super convinced. I guess I'm just gonna take. Keep it simple. Okay, now knight takes e5. It's gotta be good. Or wait, no. Now knight takes e5 doesn't work, because if he previously took it, I was gonna take here and win that back, but that doesn't exist now. So I think we're just gonna have to go nice and boring, trade this off. We do want that trade. He's got his bishop on b8, which is surprisingly annoying, honestly. Really annoying position. Like, it trying to stop him from playing that. He can play it, but trying to play on the light squares. I mean, everything is dark squares for him. Pretty much all our pieces are gonna make it to light squares, I think. King g2. Slowly but surely, right? Queen f5. And if he trades queens, I think the conversion is fairly easy. Plus, with 20 seconds, you know, you want to simplify the position where possible. So here we simplified one of black's rooks off the board. Makes things easier. I think rook g7 is nice and easy. Rook g7 check, I should say. I should announce. And this is a Pretty simple ladder mate with a bunch of pieces on the board. GG. Again, I've found the 1500 to 1600 opponents to be the strongest. That everyone was playing great. I love the setup that I have here, but what I regret was not playing e4. E4, e5. E4 is actually the main idea, so I regret not doing it to show it off. I was planning to go e4 next move, but c5 is very good for him. Very strong move by him. Here, again, I should play e4, but then it's like, don't play a3 if you're not playing b4. So e4 should happen right now. The point is that I get to play the pawn to e5, right? They can't do that, so e4 is just a really good move and should have been played by me.